This is Favors Financial Topics, various topics. So, what are the big five personality traits? Costa and McCrae suggest that personality is structured among five dimensions. They argue that personality traits tend to be bipolar, with some people scoring on diagnostic tests at either extremes, high or low. The following make up the big five. So these are the ones: NEOAC, neuroticism, extroversion, openness to experience, agreeableness, conscientiousness. So we're going to look at the high-low dimensions and how personality traits and high-low dimensions affect our understanding of personal finances, which if we have a bad understanding would contribute to our financial setback, and how we might need to consider personality in terms of financial recovery. And then the last one is conscientiousness. Notice that this is not conscious. Conscious means awareness. Conscientiousness means hearty. So let's look at high: conscientious, hardworking, well organized, punctual, ambitious, persevering. And then look at low: negligent, lazy, disorganized, late, aimless, quitting. And if you find someone who is struggling with their finances, every month they come up short. There is somewhere that they are lazy in their understanding. They are negligent in their understanding. They are disorganized and late in places, and aimless and quitting all the time. Because I tend to question people who say they have problems with money when they turn around and come over to your house and have their hair done, or have on a new outfit, or have on new sneakers, or bought a new something, whatever the new something is. I'm going to have a problem with that. Then the person can say, well, it's not up to you to tell me about my personal finances. I mean, if I want to go out and shop, I can do that. That's my business. Okay, then if that's your business, don't ask me for the money, because you have the money to take care of your shelter costs right there in the new hair, the new suit, the new shoes, the new jewelry. That's the money. And that's the problem that I had in a previous situation when I was, just graduating from high school, and I got a customer service job maybe a year or so out. And there was this girl on the job. Like I said, people tend to mark you when they see you are helpful and good natured and saying hi to them or something like that. It's like when you say hi and you be nice to them, you immediately become their mark. So she marked me, and one day she started to sit by me. We didn't necessarily have assigned seating, but we did have seating that was habit for us. And so one day, one of the people who sat near me was gone for the day or something like that, and she decided to come over to where I was sitting. And she would kind of eyeball me, look around, be on the phone having a conversation with the customer as I was. But it reminded me of a man who comes to the bar and sits near you, and while you're drinking whatever you're drinking, and then he kind of eyeballs you a little bit, sort of flirts a little bit, turns around, kind of looks you up and down. She was kind of doing that. And I was sort of uncomfortable with her doing that. And then eventually she kept coming by to sit near me, near that next seat or whatever. And then one day, it's not courage. I was going to say she got up to courage. It's not courage. It was basically her game. She asked for some money. Oh, I really do. Can you lend me whatever? I can't remember that amount, but I'm going to say $60 or something like that. Now, never, granted, we both worked the same job. We worked the same money. She didn't have any kids. She wasn't married. Neither was I. And I don't even think she had her own apartment, but I did. And she didn't have any money, right? And so I went on ahead, I didn't ask any questions. I didn't ask what she needed it for, because when you are a people pleaser, and I'm not today, but when you are a people pleaser, you don't ask questions. You are acquiescent, as in the agreeableness personality trait. And so I didn't ask any questions. Well, she came back, I think, the next day or day or two, with her hair done, new clothes on, new shoes. And the tennis shoes that she had on were like Nike or something like that. Those things were fresh. They were really nice. And so I'm thinking to myself, where did she get the money if she needed some money from me? And I didn't ask her the question or anything like that. Um, and maybe I should have, but I got the clue that I needed to get without necessarily having to ask her the question. That she didn't want to use her money, she wanted to use my money. She made more than enough money. We worked the same job, we worked the same hours, sometimes overtime. So she had more than enough money to accomplish the goals that she set for herself financially, in terms of buying new items. But she just didn't want to use her money, and something about that bothered me. It turned my stomach. It put an anger in me that I didn't know was possible, and I never gave her money again. She asked again, because remember, when they mark you, they are looking to get you to do that very same thing again. They want to create the habit. They want to create the habit of you being acquiescent, agreeable to them. But in terms of conscious, I didn't become really conscientious, but I did much better in recognizing when someone was using me for money. Right now, I still struggled along the way. I went to college. I got school money, scholarship money, loan money, and a family member began using my money to, fund their lifestyle, and it was a struggle with me. But then there was a time that I made a decision. I prayed about it, and then I made a decision that I can't do this anymore, and that whatever I gave them, they had to pay it back. And so then I became conscientious in terms of, and I still wouldn't use that word, but just better organized. I became more organized in how I understood the value of money, and making sure that it covered me, meaning that I have to live in this apartment for 30 days or whatever, and pay my rent on the first every month, and I need to make sure that I have that. So that became a much more conscientious thing, and I began to continue working hard. I was organized, and I had gotten a lot better at paying bills, and I was very close to paying a great number of my bills. But I then uprooted and relocated from Dallas to San Diego, which affected my completion of my repayment goals. I was about two or three cards ready to finish and pay off, and I hindered my learning progress. So then that made me become very disorganized. I was late on my bills. Then I sort of dropped the aim of paying off all my bills and getting out of that financial setback. And then I basically quit altogether. And so that when you have outstanding debt, it takes 7 years to get off the credit report. So I basically quit paying them, and so I was less persevering in my goal. And it also has a lot to do with me listening to the wrong people, telling those people telling me that I can do a lot differently with my credit cards. But I was conscientious, and that's what I should have focused on. And so that's why it goes back to ethical dealings, integrity, right? That you want to make sure that whatever goal you start, you can finish, you can complete. And if you are getting credit cards, you got to make sure that you can get that done. So this is conscientiousness. All right. Hopefully you were able to gain some insight from this series topic. Like, subscribe, and visit. Like the video, hit the notification bell for future videos. You can visit my website, which is still in development. reginayfavors.com. You can always email me with a question, reginayfavors@yahoo.com. You will be able to purchase the book by the end of October 2021. I'm hoping that I will have it completed, completely revised rather. It is already written and done. I just have to edit it. It is Overcoming Setback, 5 Keys for Entering and Exiting Correction. Thank you for visiting the channel. Coming soon is my new book that I am working on presently and hope to complete by the end of the year, December 2021, preferably February 2022, and that is Favors Financial Recovery, Psychological Approaches to Overcoming Financial Setback with some workbook elements. So it is the hard, it will be the book that will support the audio series, although I have developed the audio series prior to actually writing the book. So be on the lookout for this new book. When it comes out, when I finish, I will create an audio introduction to the book. Thank you again for visiting the channel.